what I do.
Yeah, I would agree because I take it to the extreme. I remember whenever I went back to the States back in April last year, my mother tried to, and I don't even know why she tried to tell. I have no clue
Mhm.
why. It's too late. I don't know why she tried to tell me because I was like, yeah, I don't really like being here. She's like, oh, happiness comes from within. We can
Mhm.
go to the extreme example of, okay, well, what if you're in the shoe in the special housing unit in prison? Can you
Mhm.
just have a different mindset and be happy? I don't think so. The shoe is the shoe. So
Yeah.
the environment can definitely make a difference. But that being said, as far as referring to the environment, as far as the U.S. political climate under Donald Trump now
Mhm.
and future candidates like him, do
Mhm.
you think that this could influence? And there's statistics showing so, but do you think that that this could influence people's desire to live abroad?
Oh yeah, definitely. But the thing about it is a lot of people are new to this, and I often talk about the fact, and you're what people would consider a foundational Black American. Historically, you have roots here in the United States. And so because of that, there's a history embedded in our culture. Uh, this is just another racially hostile time period. We've had this back before the country was founded, back when they were first beginning to implement slavery. They began to put in black codes and prohibiting black people from marrying white people because they wanted to delineate between the slave class and the non-slave class. And so this was back in the 1600s, or then you move forward. If we want to talk about the time period right when slavery ended, the Reconstruction period after 1865, white people wanted to reinsert themselves as the dominant social class. And so they began something that they called night riders, or I guess they would refer to it as the KKK, because they wanted to put these uppity black people back in their place. So even when the brothers came back home from World War II in 1919, they had something called Red Summer. Um, White men and white mobs went around burning different black enclaves, whether we talk about Forsyth, Georgia, a county that had plenty of very successful black people. But white people basically came in, burned them out. They burned down their property, and they ran them out of the county. And if you want to, and the way they would do it is they would run them out of the county and take over their property, literally move in, and it would become part of of white wealth at the time. You see, and so even after that, if you want to go, anytime black people have had success, there's also always been racial turmoil. Whether we're talking about the lynchings that took place during Jim Crow time period, which was 100-year period more or less after slavery had ended, where 4,000 black people were lynched. And when I say lynched, I must help you understand it wasn't just people being unalive from a rope. They were literally unaliving them, consuming them, cutting off certain body parts, burning them, and passing them out. They would literally take photographs and use them as postcards and send them around the country. So, this is nothing new. I think the only people that find this particular time period interesting, because I remember my grandmother and my grandparents would tell me about how white folk used to be. You see what I mean? And how white folk are. And so now we're just entering into that new period. I think the only people that are surprised about this are people who don't have that historical background. For instance, we have a lot of black immigrants in the country, a lot of people from the Caribbean, a lot of people from Africa, and they have a movement apparently where they're moving back because it's so racially hostile. But this is the same America that black Americans have always said existed. And it's the only thing that has gotten us through is our culture, that same culture that teaches us how to speak to each other with our words, the language that they use, they call black vernacular English, even the food, it's all meant for survival, you see? So, you and I are equipped to deal with it because we have those roots that we need. The reason that our people are the way they are, and some people call they don't understand the culture. Many people say our culture doesn't even exist. but it's built for survival. This is not a country where we have the predominant numbers. This is where, for instance, in Jamaica, the majority of the people are black. In this country, we are not the majority. In Uganda and Nairobi, which is a city I know, but Kenya and all these other places, the majority of the people are black. What do you do as a tiny racial minority in a country that wants to get rid of you? You survive. And a culture, and the definition of what a culture is a system, practices, language that helps you survive into the future. And our culture as foundational Black Americans has done a tremendous job of helping us survive in this country over the past 500 years. So yes, we'll be all right. No, this is nothing new. It's just a cycle. And I know I'm being long-winded, but it's a complicated subject. In 1965, along with the Civil Rights Act, they did away with the racial caste system that prohibited racial minorities from integrating into this country. Now, I want you to keep in mind, in 1965, there was a total of 50,000 Africans in the United States. 50,000, okay? There was less than 1% Hispanic, or what we call Latino. The Asian population was infinitesimal. So in 1965, when that law went into place, we started allowing minorities to come, other Black and brown people from other places to come into this country. And so what ended up happening is they started showing up around 1980. The numbers became more significant. We hadn't had an uprising since then. By the time we get to the 1990s and 2000, enclaves like New York, New Jersey, California, if you want to talk about the Belizean population, and that's when they began to occupy. And so now this is their first opportunity to experience firsthand what foundational Black Americans have had to deal with. And you see the reaction, you see? But that's it. If you have any other sub questions to that, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Well, that being said, I mean, I've been here in Nairobi for a year straight, and I just find it very strange. And this is because of my background, because I am American, Black American. Whenever we talk to people here, or we talk to people in Uganda, to Africans, let's say, and except South Africans, I think they get it. But they'll be like, "Oh, well, you're Black, Austin," and I'm like, "What do you think you are?" I mean, if you ask a Klansman, "Are you Black or white?" he's not going to say white. You would be lynched just with us. But I think now they're, like you said, they're starting to understand the struggle that we've always had. But that being said, I'm gonna go to my next question.
Sure.
Now that people are starting to realize the tension in America, do you think that some Americans, naturalized immigrants and native-born citizens, do you think that some of them overestimate the quality of the life in the United States compared to the rest of the world?
Oh, definitely. I think there's when you start really looking at the statistics, and you start really looking at, if you compare the top 10% of Africans to the top 10% of foundational Black Americans, we blow them out of the water. Okay. The average top 10% African makes somewhere between $90,000 and $100,000. The top 10% of the Caribbean Blacks make somewhere between $60,000 to $70,000 a year. But the average top 10% of foundational Black Americans, as we call it, or indigenous Black Americans, or ADOS, whatever you choose to, we are well over $100,000. We have more property, we have more intrinsic political power, we have more family roots. And so because of that, we're much better off. Now, when you compare those elites from these different African countries to regular old Black people, then, of course they're doing well. But the truth is, many of these Africans and Caribbean folk, they come over here working multiple jobs. They're the most educated, but they're also the most underpaid of the educated. So when it comes to quality of life, when you actually look at the studies, they are not doing as well as you would think they're doing. They're still getting treated like black people. What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the broadcast. This is Uncle D. People wash their ass in the tub, Kamala Harris.
You were tuned in to Uncle D. D's black man talk. Pull up, homie, take a seat. Don't be a shadow watcher every day. You learn something, then you earn something. Let them know and drop some money in the plate. It's getting cold, ladies, talking ratchet. There's a king here, grab your coat, zip your jacket. Keep quiet for a second, close your jaw. Attorney Spurling, this ain't pearly, know the law. Talking Constitution, pushing pins when he shooting, give him that. Masculinity, just for the record, sprinkle that. You can keep your cat, gotta cut it. Only cat he rubbing, gotta love it. I call it Molly Buddy. Gotta vote your interest, voting earns. Presidential, this is for the money that I earn. When you gon' learn, my people, that evil mixed with evil. No matter what you're doing, baby, this ain't equal. Sometimes when you're special, you get hated. The test is for the best, you're damn right, my people made it. Uncle D, Blizzard King, you been served, gotta notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now.
Hey man, I'll do what I do.
Somebody need to whip your ass.
Get up and whip him, Sweets.
Hey, don't be putting the money in my hand all rough.
Take your ass out here. You buy you a Flowbee and cut your own damn hair from now